My name is Alara and I just moved into a high-end apartment 3 days ago. It was supposed to be a fresh start. Instead, it became a nightmare. It all started with a knock, not on my door but from the air vent right above my bed. 3 delicate, metallic taps, asterisk, tink. 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 Like someone drumming their fingernails on the inside of the ductwork. I live on the 14th floor of the Aperture, a brand new tower of glass and steel in downtown Chicago. Above me, below me, all around me. I'd moved in after an awful fight with my boyfriend, Ben. He said I needed space, but what he really meant was that I was getting too attached. Maybe he was right. I'd been a nervous wreck since we argued. Then, the sound came again. Asterisk tink. 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 Asterisk I pulled the blanket over my head, telling myself it was just the pipes contracting in the cold November air. But the sound was too precise. Too intentional. It wasn't random. My phone buzzed on the nightstand, jolting me out of my skin. Las 2:14 AM. It was a notification from Mapatorling, the building's fancy resident app. My hands were shaking as I opened it. It was a post from someone on the 16th floor. Unit kasaribuan amra to studio. Sorry if anyone heard a loud crash. I dropped a bookshelf. Everything's fine. I let out a shaky breath, relief washing over me. That must have been it. The noise must have traveled through the vents or the walls. It wasn't a knock, just a stupid accident. I set my phone down, my heart rate slowly settling back to normal. But as soon as I closed my eyes, a chill shot straight down my spine. 1607. That's 2 floors above me. How could the sound have been that clear? And it wasn't a crash. It was a knock. A distinct, quiet tapping. I sat bolt upright in bed, staring at the metal vent. The room was silent now. Oppressively silent. I didn't sleep a wink for the rest of the night. The next morning, I made myself a mug of thick, bitter coffee, hoping the caffeine could drown out the unease gnawing at me. The doorbell chimed. A soft, mechanical sound. I crept to the door and peered through the peephole. A delivery man in a gray Swiftline uniform stood in the hallway, holding a small cardboard box. He wasn't looking at my door. He was looking down at his feet. I cracked the door open, keeping the security chain latched. "Can I help you?" He looked up. He was young, with tired eyes, and a smile that didn't quite reach them. "Package for Alara Vance. Apartment 1407. "I didn't order anything," I said, my grip tightening on the door. His smile wavered for a second, then froze back in place. "It's prepaid, ma. Just need a signature." Something felt deeply wrong. Who sent it? Primera. Asked. He glanced down at his tablet. No sender listed. It's from a third-party service. "Would you like to receive it?" I shook my head firmly. "No. Take it back." I started to close the door. "But ma'am," he began. I slammed it shut. The lock clicked into place like a gun cocking. I leaned my back against the door, my heart pounding, and listened. I heard a faint rustling, then footsteps fading down the hall. A few hours later, feeling a little less on edge, I decided to go out for some air. As I bent down to grab my sneakers by the door, I noticed something was off. My welcome doormat was slightly shifted, just a few inches to the left. A cold prickle crawled up my spine. I always kept a spare key underneath it. A stupid habit from my old place. My fingers trembled as I lifted the corner of the mat. The key was gone. I stumbled back inside, bolting the door and checking every lock twice. My breathing came in fast, shallow gasps. No, this can't be happening. Maybe I misplaced it. Maybe I dropped it somewhere and forgot. Maybe... My phone beeped. A text from an unknown number. The message made my blood run cold. Asterisk, you should be more careful with your keys. Elada, and luckily, I found them for you. Asterisk attached was a photo. A gloved hand, a gray glove, was holding my key. A second message popped up. Asterisk, I'll bring it back later. I know you wouldn't want to leave your door unlocked. Asterisk, my heart froze. Those were the delivery man's gloves. How did he get my number? I frantically called Ben, my voice shaking so much I could barely speak. Ilara, calm down, he said, the sound of him typing in the background. Are you sure you even left it there? Maybe you dropped it. No, Ben. He texted me. He sent a picture. He has my key. He sighed, his annoyance palpable, even through the phone. Listen, you're working yourself up over nothing. Just call the management office and have them change the lock. It's probably just a neighbor trying to be helpful. Stop scaring yourself. The line went dead. Hung up on me. Asterisk, stop scaring yourself. Asterisk, the words echoed in my head. Maybe he was right. I was alone in a new city. Maybe I was just being paranoid. I called building security. 10 minutes later, the doorbell rang again. Through the peephole, I saw a tall, clean-cut man in a navy aperture uniform. He looked professional, reassuring. I opened the door. Good afternoon, Ms. Vance. I'm Mark, with security. You reported an issue? Yes, I said, the words tumbling out. A delivery man took my spare key from under the mat. He nodded, his expression serious. That's concerning. Mind if I come in and take a look? Just to make sure everything's secure. I hesitated for a moment, then stepped aside to let him in. He walked into my living room, his eyes scanning everything. You live alone, Ms. Vance? Yes. For now, this building's very secure. Aside Ebenly walking straight toward my bedroom. He didn't check the locks on the front door. He just went to the bedroom window, stared out for about 10 seconds, then turned back to me. All the windows lock properly, but you should always close your curtains at night. 14th floor, or not, you never know. Something about the way he said it made my stomach twist into a knot. Could you check the front door lock? I asked. I need it replaced. He gave me a faint smile. Of course, I'll call our locksmith right away. But honestly, Miss Vance, you're perfectly safe. There's nothing to worry about. He saw himself out. The silence that followed was heavier than before. My phone rang an internal building number. The front desk. I answered. Hello, Ms. Vance. It was a woman's voice. Calm at first, then suddenly sharp with alarm. This is Sarah from reception. Our system just flagged your door being opened with a security card. Are you all right? My blood went cold. What? Your security guy, Mark, was just here. There was a pause. Then, pure urgency in her voice. Ma'am, I'm the only one on security tonight. There's no employee named Mark at the aperture. Who did you just let into your apartment? The phone slipped from my hand and clattered to the floor. I lunged for the door. Throwing the deadbolt and chain, my phone, lying on the floor, beeped. A new message on the Aperture Link app. It was from Sarah Reception. Asterisk Alara. Don't panic. We're reviewing the cameras. The man left your floor. He went up toward 16, the 16th floor. Apartment 1607. The one who dropped the bookshelf. My fingers trembled as I typed back. Asterisk. Where's the police? Asterisk, asterisk. On their way. He might still be in the building. He used a fake card. Please stay inside, look your door. He doesn't have your key. Asterisk, I stared at that last line. Asterisk, he doesn't have your key. Asterisk, but he did. The delivery man had it. Were they the same person? Or were there two people targeting me? Another ping. A building-wide alert. Asterisk, he's in the elevator. He's coming back to 14. Elera, hide. Hide. Nah. I didn't scream. I couldn't. My body moved on pure instinct. I ran into the bedroom, scrambled into the closet, suit to door, and buried myself under a pile of coats. The air was thick with the smell of cedar and stale perfume. It was suffocating. Then, I heard it. The sound of a key turning in the lock, a faint click as the door opened. Footsteps. Not the heavy boot steps of Mark. These were sneakers. Quiet, careful. They stopped in the living room. Silence. The kind of silence that makes your heart forget how to beat. He was listening. He knew I was in here. Elara. That voice. I knew that voice. Elara, what are you doing in the dark? The closet door swung open. Ben stood there, his face creased with worry. I collapsed into his arms, sobbing uncontrollably. Ben, he's here. The fake security guard asked my key. He went to 16. He came back. Ben held me, rubbing my back. She, it's okay. There's no one here. It's just me. No, you don't understand. The app, Sarah warned me. He has the what app, Elara? His voice was too calm, too placating. He took the phone from my trembling hand and glanced at the screen. You mean this one? Aperture link? I nodded through my tears. Look. The messages from Sarah, he sighed, a long, tired, patronizing sigh. Then he handed the phone back to me. Elara looked closely. I scrolled through the chat history. Every message, from resident 1607, from Sarah reception. Then my eyes drifted up to the group info at the top of the chat. Only 2 members, Elara Vance and Ben Carter. My voice cracked. What? What did you do? You were falling apart after the move, he said softly, as if he were being reasonable. I just wanted to make sure you knew you needed me. I set up the app on your phone when I helped you move in a little simulation, so I could keep an eye on you. 1607, I whispered, horrified. The bookshelf. That was me. I posted it from my office. I knew you'd hear a noise and your mind would jump to the worst conclusion. And Sarah, also me. I was tracking your phone's GPS. When you panicked, I just pushed it a little further to help you realize you weren't safe on your own. A cold, triumphant smile spread across his face. He looked like a complete stranger. But the key, I stammered. The delivery man had my key. The photo. The smile vanished from his face. All the color drained from it. What? Delivery man? Sighed slowly. I don't know anything about a delivery or a key. From the dark hallway behind him, a third voice spoke. Low.com. And completely exhausted, she's right. She really shouldn't leave her key under the mat. Mark, a fake security guard, stood there. In his hand, my key twirled lazily between his gray-gloved fingers. Well, he said, stepping into the light of the bedroom, that does make things a lot easier. He glanced from Ben to me, a tired but determined look in his eyes. Apartment 1607 really is a mess, by the way. He did drop a bookshelf. That part was true.